Light right there.
Yep. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. The Showtime N Kev Podcast is up and running. We are listening to the 49ers rap horribly from 1980. Whoa, who gives a shit?
It's 1989, man.
1989. I was 6 years old. I don't remember none of that shit.
This was, man, I tell you, this when I first landed in America, this is one of the first songs I remember hearing. We are the 49ers on 106.1 KMEL.
Yes. And shout out to KMEL.
Yeah, that was dope, man. I was like, these dudes, not only can they play good football, but they can sing.
Yeah, they can do one of those very well. And the other one is what we're listening to right now. But we can't officially get started until Kevin gives us his island intro. So, Kevin, drop the island intro so we can start this podcast, please.
In the name of the one called Emperor Selassie, conquering tribe of Judah, King of Kings, and Santa Cruz Reggae Music Festival. But the rascal that go on up in this piece, Lord of mercy. Brakashak, brak, enough man are dead.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Jet.
Enough shot, liquor shot.
Okay, damn.
Sorry, there are extra shots in the bullets in the gun today.
I see that. Jesus, man. Stand your ground over here.
Enough shots, Agwan. Okay.
Yeah, that Dave Chappelle shotgun. Buckshot. Goddamn.
Book.
We are back another episode of the Showtime N Kev Podcast.
What's up with you, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain, man. The Niners are winning. The Lakers are winning. Life is good.
Yeah, okay. That's a good,
we just listened to the 49ers celebrating from 30 years ago, and it should stay there because, geez, that did not age well at all.
Well, okay. Well, the production values were obviously like pre MC Hammer 1991. They had a TR-808 and a couple synthesizers. It wasn't. I mean, it's not.
That doesn't excuse the 49ers. Like somebody wrote that. Somebody sat down and was like, how is this going to work? Is this a C major, G flat? Like
but you make it sound like it's a bunch of what do you call it? Like a bunch of choir boys. 49ers.
Yeah, because we all know NFL players are choir boys.
Yeah, but you sing it like you're a Mason or something.
That's how they were singing it. What are you talking about?
Actually, I don't even know if they actually sang it.
I hope they didn't. I really do.
I mean, did Roger Craig really get in the booth?
Probably. An athlete is going more fame. Hell yeah, let's go. I wear a helmet for a living. Please put me on.
Jerry Rice is on soprano.
Yeah.
but man, I mean, it's good times right now for 49ers right now, man.
It is. I mean, that was a fantastic game. They beat them pillar to post. That was a good game. Right now, if you are tuning in to us while watching the Chiefs and the Texans, I hope you didn't bet the under because shit just got weird.
The numbers are all over the place, man. I mean, it was 24-0 Texans, and I literally went in the shower, came out, it was 27-24.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened. I'm
those light-skinned cats work fast, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Patrick Mahomes, right?
Patrick Mahomes that dude is a machine. Like, he's the weirdest. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's great for black quarterbacks right now in the NFL, but him in particular, like, he's got like that Steph Curry thing where like all the stuff that you're not supposed to do, he does better than you do the stuff you're supposed to do.
Right. It's like how Steph would shoot from half court and everyone's like, no, yes.
Yeah. It was like he'll be like on the run, throwing off his back foot in midair across his body. You're like, no, touchdown. Yeah.
He's one of those dudes that's like ruining like high school sports for everybody because all the shit that the coaches are telling you not to do. Throw those
fundamentals away.
They're like, don't do that. He's like, well, I just saw Patrick Mahomes do it. He's like a gateway drug for like bad football.
Yeah, because if you try to play football the way Patrick Mahomes does, odds are you're going to end up looking a lot like Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, exactly. 4 interceptions or whatever. By the way, here's my one pet peeve about watching the 49ers play. Why is it they always show aerial shots of San Francisco?
Because Santa Clara isn't exactly an iconic place. I mean, like, it is a big city in California, but it's not an iconic city,
Yeah, I mean, come on. Why can't they keep it real for a half a second? Be like, oh, by the way, this is Milpitas.
The same way we couldn't keep it real the first 2 seasons when they moved. We acted like, oh, it's really not that far. It's San Ho fucking Zay. That's how far away it is. It's an hour. With no traffic, it's an hour.
I know it's embarrassing. It's kind of like these cats. If you go to Hollywood Boulevard where they hand out those maps of California for tourists, and they're like, "Oh, San Francisco, you can do a day trip to San Francisco." Like the shit is like an hour drive or something.
Yeah,
it feels that disingenuous.
It really does, because like Santa Clara, you can't call them the Santa Clara 49ers because of the history, but at the same time, like the distance wise, that's like if the Rams played in Carlsbad.
Right, exactly, or in Oxnard or something.
Yeah, doesn't make much sense.
Nobody knows. Catalina, what's up, Catalina? She says nobody knows Santa Clara. Well, come
Team,
on.
thanks for tuning in, bro.
Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Lucky 49ers shirt. You can't.
He's worn that shirt for so goddamn long that everything on that shirt is gone. Like
look, you could see like there's a.
I'm right next to him and I can't make this shit out.
Look. See, look. There's a
nipple.
See,
that's all there is.
There's a 49ers right there. There's a.
If you can see this, you can probably see dead people. Like that shit is super it's translucent.
Yeah, it kind of got washed out in the 2015 NFC Championship.
It kind of got washed out 5 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. He's still wearing it. I'm like that's just what happens when men get to a certain age. It's like we ain't buying new clothes. Fuck it.
Why need new clothes for?
Yeah, this still works. This still covers my ass. It still does its job.
It still fits, and I know it's a 49er symbol. You just got to look real close.
He knows. No one else can prove it.
This is the lucky shirt, man. I'm telling you.
It is a lucky shirt. Yeah. It's got to be. There's no other reason for you to be wearing that. What up, Terrence? Cat, good to see you. Please remember, if anything happens in out down here in America, I'm hanging out with you in Canada and hiding out. Also, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Budweiser, because we like dirty water too.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Budweiser. Speaking,
tastes like a St. Louis puddle. All right.
By the way, Bud Light's coming out with a seltzer now, right? Yeah.
So sparkling dirty water? That's what it is?
Yeah, no, they're coming out with malt liquor for white people, which is what seltzer is.
Malt liquor for white people. I love it.
It is chemically malt. It's malt, barley, malt liquor, but they add some extra shit and some marketing and they call it seltzer, but it's malt liquor. And look, I don't understand why there's no white rappers like talking about White Claw right now.
I feel like Lil Dicky's whole next album is going to be devoted to White Claw.
Probably.
White Claw and Molly or some shit like that.
Come on, dog.
Hey, my sister's watching. Hey, Sabrina, I'm about to corrupt your fragile little mind. I'm just kidding. She's
in the 90s, man, like Ice Cube and Snoop and all of them jumped on St. Ives, jumped on Old E.
Man, I remember those terrible commercials.
Do you want to go to the liquor store? God damn it, that's terrible.
Set us back 45 years with that goddamn shit. Do you remember St. Ives? That shit tasted like...
The NAACP's on the line right now. They want to talk to us.
St. Ives tasted like malt Skittles. Like, that shit was a weird candy flavor. Yeah. Like, it definitely tasted grainy, but it also had, like, a fruity flavor to it, and you just tasted like you were dying a little bit every time you took a sip.
No, it's bad for you. St. Ives, make your Jimmy thicker. Make your girls strip quicker. Like, they didn't give a fuck.
I got my swag mixed up in my head for a second. He said, make Jimmy thicker. I'm like, you jump shot?
No, that's not what they were aiming for there.
I told somebody else that is malt liquor, and I got argued down. Yeah, because white people can do one thing very well, and that's outnumber you. Right. Well, at least in this country.
Well, the thing is, they want to act as if they don't like the same shit we like. Mm-hmm. So they have to kind of wallpaper it over with some patina of like upper echelon. Like, well, no, you take this to the park and drink. Or you go boating and sailing.
It's like however you want to justify your alcoholism, Karen. Go ahead. It's just still malt liquor.
Yeah, you might as well be on that.
It has a very fancy can. It's malt liquor.
It's the same shit. You might as well be on that boat drinking St. Ives.
Yeah. That would be hilarious if you just saw white women with 40 ounces of White Claw.
More than 40 ounces of White Claw. Hey, yo, we should do that. Yo, we need to have
it's got to come in a box, though. If it was a 40 ounce, it would come in a box. A box of White Claw.
No, let's just set it straight. Like, look, man, let's get a 40 ounce of White Claw, put it in that bottle, that big ass bottle, and have them deal with it that way. Like, okay, let's keep it real. This is a 40 ounce of malt liquor. It's just clear.
Are you suggesting that we engineer a 40 ounce bottle of White Claw?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's my homework.
You are an engineer, so get to work.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a 40 ounce of malt liquor, pour the malt liquor out, buy White Claw, fill it up, put the label on it, and just hand it out.
and just hand it out.
Yeah, as a test.
It's marketing. Yeah,
as a test. Like, okay, let's keep it real. If you want to keep it real, let's do it this way. And then boom, next thing you know.
You can't even finish that sentence. That's how fucking funny this is to you.
Next thing you know, Warren G's gonna be out there. Yeah, man. Let me endorse this shit.
Oh dear God. Okay, we had topics for today. I'm not sure what we're gonna get into. This is very interesting though. Debating the merit of racial marketing towards malt liquor.
Well, I mean, racial marketing is always the thing. Like
White Claw is the closest to white culture white people have that isn't pumpkin spice flavored, and there is a pumpkin spice flavor. So don't give me that shit.
There is a pumpkin spice White Claw,
and I guarantee you can't find it because that's the most popular one.
They sell out, man. Like even like the little janky liquor store on my corner. It's like, man, they sell out, man. They sell out. We can't keep them.
That'd be like if they made a jerk chicken sandwich at Popeyes. That shit wouldn't even make it. Like people would die instantly. Like jerk stab. Like we're out of jerk stab.
Oh man, I have so many things to say about that sandwich. But anyway, have you had that sandwich?
We had me and Milan had it in New Orleans of all places.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't that bad, but it's not like stab your neighbor good. It's not like, cause a car accident in the drive-thru good.
Oh, that's disappointing, man.
It's not body slam a white woman over racism good. The racism part was where body slamming a white woman, but the rest of it wasn't. The chicken sandwich wasn't that damn good.
That's disappointing, man. Because,
I know.
Because I mean, I've seen all the videos on Twitter of people like punching motherfuckers in the face.
That's right.
Over the sandwich.
It's not worth it. It's not punch your mama good. It's not.
Okay, fine.
It's really not. I mean, it is decent, but it's not that good. Like, as far as fast food sandwiches go, it's still not as good as Chick-fil-A. Because let's be real, Chick-fil-A only makes chicken sandwiches, period. Popeyes barely makes chicken.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Wendy's hot chicken sandwich is kind of,
Yeah, you're definitely an immigrant.
What? Come on, man. Seriously, like it's good. It's good.
The spicy chicken one?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the 99-cent.
Nah, not that. No. Come on, man. Like I have a job, man. Come on. That's some shit you panhandle for, man.
You're from Trinidad. You got several jobs. I understand.
All right. So what's really going on, man? So we talked about the 49ers. They're doing well. By the way,
talk about how you don't want to talk about the Warriors.
Before I get to that, I just want to say a couple things about 49ers, which is they have a couple cats, like this cat named Deebo Samuel.
Yes.
And the cat, 42 yards, great wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to his parents for naming him Deebo.
Because it had to be this, son. It was either 4.2 speed and catching touchdown passes, or 4.2 speed running from the police.
Yeah.
That was when you name your son Deebo Samuel, you've given him two options: either wicked jump shot or slanging crack rock.
Yeah. You just put him on blast like that.
I mean, like
first day of school. What's your name?
Deebo.
Oh, word? Oh, you Deebo?
Not even Deshaun, not even like Derek.
It's like his parents are like, my son's gonna be a goon.
Yeah, like
they didn't, out the gate.
They didn't name him Donald and call him Deebo. His given name, his Christian name, right. Deebo, Deebo.
Right, exactly.
But to be fair, his coach in college name was Dabo, and it's a white boy, and we don't give a shit.
Oh well, that's
Dabo Sweeney is the most redneckiest name I've heard. That is the most South Carolina deserving person.
Right. Yeah, that's a hunting fishing motherfucker.
I'm saying like that is the white version of like when you name your son Dabo Sweeney, he better be a damn good coach, or he's gonna either be shooting at the police or his food for the rest of his life.
Shooting at his food. Right. Yeah, like Jimbo Fisher, like
Yeah,
Jimbo.
Exactly, Jimbo, not Jim, not James, Jimbo.
Yeah. That's a crocodile hunting motherfucker.
The duck call making, long beard having some bitch.
Yeah. I mean, your life's determined by that choice. I mean, that's how it is. Like he came out the womb and slapped his mama.
Jimbo is gonna buy you a drink and punch you in the face and buy you another drink. That's what I expect from a guy named Jimbo.
That's I don't understand like how that happens, man. Like Deebo, like he couldn't get into finance. I mean, it's like, hey, my financial advisor is Deebo Sam. Like, Deebo, give me your 401k, nigga. what I'm saying? Like,
this is a sad but true point. Like that is very.
You've determined this man's life.
Like we have laws in place so we don't discriminate against shit like this. But at the same time, me as a black man, if I'm looking through like
resumes,
and I see Deebo. He's got a master's degree, PhD, 4.0. Fuck that guy. I understand. My name is Cory. My mom knew exactly what she was doing. She was like, I want them to pretend he's white before he gets to the front door.
Right. Then give him a chance.
Give him a chance. Give him a good chance. My sister's name is Sabrina. We was ready.
right. Give you a shot. Hey, what you got on my lunch money, homie?
Yeah. But being named Cory and Sabrina, we got picked on a lot.
That's the downside. You just gotta survive.
Exactly.
You just gotta survive the hood.
Niggas is mean, man. Like Deebo picks on Cory all the time.
Right. Yeah. That's
Kasim, what's good, man? I wish you were here to heckle everybody for us.
You know what, Kasim, we gotta have you on this show, man.
We do. We absolutely do.
But you gotta guarantee that you let us talk.
Nah. Fuck Kevin. I want you to come on and be exactly yourself, bro.
Because he's just gonna come and roast everybody.
Don't let nobody get a word in edgewise. Talk about Paul being a Clippers fan, all that shit.
Yeah, just roast everybody. Yeah, we could do that. But okay, so enough about 49ers. I mean, I just wanted to point out that this guy is named Deebo. And also, I want to point out that a lot of those guys don't even recognize anymore. I still think about like Frank Gore as being a 49er. Yeah. And he's still playing for the Bills. I was hoping the Bills would win because, he's a 49er. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was hoping that like Carlos Hyde, I still think he's a 49er, and he plays for like the Browns.
I still think of Vernon Davis as a 49er, even though that was like years and years ago. Yeah. And it's funny because I was watching. Speaking of the Redskins, I was on Twitter, and there was this video of like some dude smacking this kid's Redskins hat off and cussing at him, and I was like, and I posted like, I don't know what's more abusive to that child, the shit that he just did to him, or the fact that someone gave him a Washington racial slurs hat to wear. And people were mad at me for saying the Washington racial slurs. I'm like, you totally missed the funny part of that joke. Like, I wasn't trying to make a joke about the racial slurs part. I was making a joke about how shitty the Redskins are.
Yeah, it's comedy's hard, man.
It is.
I mean, especially when you get around like racial issues like that, like people just kind of feel their, some type of way.
Their name is a racial slur. That has been brought up over and over again. The owner ain't changing it. So we might as well just make fun of it.
Well, they found two white dudes posing as Indians that said they were fine with Redskins. So
Yeah, of course they were.
I'm 1/164th, Choctaw.
They would be really upset with Obama being president, but they have no problem with the Redskins as a name. It's interesting.
I don't get it, man. But again, this is American stuff. I mean, I hands off.
It's not even that big of a deal, but it's like
why you guys do this.
Just being straight up. If there was a Blackskins team out there, one, that would be pretty accurate. Two, everybody would be very.
Right, the Washington Negroes. Well, actually, it's kind of true.
It's 90%. Like when I was in New Orleans, I was doing a bit about how I was cheering for them over LSU over Alabama when they were playing, because just fuck Alabama in general. Like as a state, I don't know how you could be so racist and still love football.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how do you love the product on the field? When you just,
I gotta hate niggers. Roll Tide. And I'm just like, are you cheering for the kicker, the punter, or the coach?
Because everybody else is black. So what are you doing?
Yeah, like whether you still believe they're beneath you, they're definitely above you at catching a football. So
yeah, it's a weird world in America. But I think what it is, it's like during the day nobody wants to be black, but at night everybody wants to be black, and that's kind of the mix.
I'm gonna put this on a T-shirt one day. Everybody wants to be black till the cops show up.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how it is. Like they want to dance like us, act like us, talk like us. Dance like us. Like I said that already.
Yeah, I mean, like
everything we do, except
I've talked to dudes that play college football, and they're on like campuses like Alabama or like places in Utah, stuff like
Miss.
that. And there's like
I would never play for Ole Miss.
They got old in the name. Like,
OLE, Ole Miss.
Yeah, not even old, but OLE.
I was gonna catch the football for you today, massa.
Yeah, exactly. That shit sound like that sounds like a plantation right there.
The Brer Rabbit is their mascot. It's not, but I'm kidding. The Ole Miss Rebels.
That sounds like
I'm cool. Nah, that's
that's all like.
I would not be surprised if they had a Confederate flag uniform.
They probably did. I'd rather go to like a Civil War reunion or whatever they call those things where people like dress up.
Reunion.
It's not okay, not a reunion, but reenactment. That's what I was looking
150-year-old men just like, I remember when I used to own you.
Yeah, Ole Miss, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott went to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and he ran away.
It's like I got to leave in 2 years.
But he didn't go too much further because he's a cowboy now. So you're working for Jerry. It's just like it's like being on the best plantation there is.
I can't even. I can't even get into the Cowboys. Like until that guy dies, they're gonna suck forever.
But us not being Cowboys fan, that's the appeal of the Cowboys. You can just like Stephen A. Smith, they're accident waiting to happen. You can set your watch to them. Week 14 every year, something is gonna go wrong, and it's like, oh, there we go. There's the Cowboys we know and love. 8-8. They came back.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have a world where it's like you have a general manager and a coach, and they can't make decisions because the owner steps in. That shit doesn't work.
Yeah, but the general manager is the owner's son, so it's like you even less movement there.
I can't even.
It's like it's almost as bad as if Trump was still running a football team.
Remember,
that's something people forget.
USFL. People forget about USFL.
ESPN 30 for 30. I saw that shit. Trump used to run he used to own a USFL team. The New York team had Herschel Walker, was doing great, and then decided, hey, we're gonna go way too big too early and go against the NFL and fucked everything up. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we could have year-long football. We can have springtime or summertime football that's comparable to the NFL, and Trump fucked that shit up in the 80s.
Yeah. Tanked the USFL.
That's why we got the XFL trying.
Yeah, they went bankrupt. And by the way, can I say this about Trump at this point? Like, I don't want to report anything he says anymore. Like, I don't know why people even bother. Like, oh, he said this, he said that. Why are you bothering?
I feel bad for.
I mean, all of it's bullshit. Like, all of it. Like,
of course.
I mean, so why?
It was always bullshit with politicians, but with him, it's like fresh. Like with politicians, you at least had to like, was that bullshit, and then go back and fact check it, and then try and hit him back. No, with Trump, it's fresh bullshit right off the conveyor belt instantly.
Yeah, I mean, I watched like Colbert and The Daily Show and all those shows, and like every night, like Jimmy Kimmel, like they're always all their writers are going crazy. Oh, he said this today. He said that today.
I feel bad for the actual writers and scholars that went to school and studied English and proper grammar and syntax and all that shit, and then they have to quote Donald Trump.
Yeah,
have you ever seen his words written out?
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
It is complete inane bull. Like,
but that's what I'm getting at.
It's like, less legible than when you heard him say it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why do we even bother anymore? And why are these comedy shows like constantly the writers are always like taxing him for saying something stupid? It's like that's what he does. Like, I'm bored. Like I'm tired of this shit.
You know what's it called in the court where the stenographer, the person that where you're presenting your case and then you get stuck somewhere and it's like read back such and such.
Right.
Like if there was a stenographer on Trump all day and then you just read back the shit that he just said, like, wait, I didn't understand that. Could you read that back? 15 seconds ago, and then it's like, I really, and, because we're the greatest, and you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, that didn't make any sense. Yeah, it makes less sense written.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard boxers with concussions seem more coherent. Like, dudes after a fight, like, after they got beat. Well, I came in, and, he came and he hit me, and then, I tried to do my defense, and, God is good, and, like, seriously.
Is that Floyd Mayweather Sr.?
That's anybody in the 80s who lost a heavyweight fight. Like, I remember when he said
anybody that fought Leon Spinks.
I used to laugh my ass off because that interviewed the dude after he lost, like after 10 rounds. Oh yeah, well I thought he came in and I came in and like, dude, just stop interviewing the guy. He got his head bashed in for 10 rounds.
I thought Rocky's speech impediment was like something that Stallone had. Nah, he was just a really good actor because that's how it sounds after you've been hitting the fucking head for 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's what Trump sounds like when he talks. So my point is, I don't understand why we're even bothering listening to what he says anymore.
I don't understand some of the fact that there's actually conspiracies with this dude when he gives us the shit straight, like I said, straightforward bullshit.
Yep.
But like, have you heard the conspiracy that like well, it's not even so much a conspiracy because it's damn near been confirmed a few times over that he grinds up Adderall and snorts it. That's why he's always sniffing and stuff during his
yeah. The people that were running whatever that reality show he was on, because I don't watch the reality shit, but whatever that show he was on, they said he was always on Adderall, and
The Apprentice.
Yeah, The Apprentice, and he can't read. So I mean. Which I mean is
so how is he get? So that explains why when you read it back, it's like the people like that was totally not what the fuck I put on the teleprompter.
Yeah, no, you can't read. Pete Davidson said that too. Like when he was on SNL, he's like, we tried to do table reads for him to do the sketch, and he can't, and he couldn't read the sketches, so we had to tell him what to say,
and then he has to remember it.
Yeah, and he fucked that up because he can't read.
I thought Adderall was supposed to make you smarter. I mean, it's just meth, so it's gonna make you focus harder. But you know, like. The fuck?
No, Adderall doesn't make you smarter, man. It just makes you more. I mean, it's just
makes you more focused, right?
Yeah, well, it's like cocaine without the extra fun. I guess I don't know what it does. I mean,
cocaine without the extra, cocaine without the euphoria.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a concentrated thing. But he really doesn't understand anything. Doesn't know how to read, and I mean, it's just a ridiculous idea that we should even pay attention to anything he says. And I'm just saying, for comedy writers who are out there, like, every day grinding, like, writing jokes for Colbert and all this stuff, like, don't they get tired of this shit?
Yes.
I mean, this is, like...
You're a comedy writer. You're not a comedy writer for Colbert or a late-night show, but, aren't you exhausted trying to write something about Trump?
I stopped writing.
Yeah, because it's impossible.
I don't care anymore. Like, it's not interesting. Like,
there's nothing... Like, with Obama, you could do an impression or you can talk about, like, whatever the issue was of the day because that's what it was. Just an issue of, like, this day or this week. Or it's like, Obamacare. Or we killed Bin Laden. Or whatever the fuck thing that it was at the time. The tan suit. Whatever the thing it was at the time. There's no thing that there is at the time with Trump. There's 10 fucking thousand things going on at all time. Are we supposed to be impeaching this motherfucker right now? We don't know because he's always running 17 different forms of interference.
Like the hustle man of scams.
It's like playing basketball 5-on-10 and they're just setting screens, man. Like, there's nothing you can do.
I don't know. I feel like the comedy community should just like go on strike and just be like, you know what, we're not gonna write shit about this dude
We should have went on strike years ago for something way less trivial than this, but yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like I just can't be bothered.
But in order for the comedy community to go on strike, the comedy community would have to be a community, you know, with unity.
Nah. As long as there's a dude.
Communication, unity. We do not have that.
As long as there's a dude out there willing to pay $20 to get 3 minutes of stage time. By the way, if you're out there paying to get stage time, don't.
You're not a comic yet.
What are you doing, man? Like that's
it's hard enough for us to. Okay, this is always gonna happen. I ain't want that. Anyway, yeah, it's hard enough for us to do our art and get paid anything for it. It's even worse when, hang on.
Oh, what happened? We lost Twitch?
Yeah, no, we lost, there we go. All right. It's even harder when we have to pay to do what we do. Like, that's like, I have nothing else to compare it to. Like,
there's no other thing. I mean, it's
like
a silly idea.
I mean, it's kind of like when boxers got to pay to use the gym, but there's still a payoff for that. Like, they can still go get a fight promoted and win or lose and get a purse from that shit. We have to do this out of our own pocket in general. We have to get there. We have to buy drinks when we get there. And now you want us to pay for the time we're on stage? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a uniquely LA thing. Like, there's a lot of people that are just pimps and predators in this ecosystem, and because I mean, people come here and they're like, oh, I want to do this, and they have stars in their eyes, so they're like, okay, well, I'll exploit that. It's like when the original 49ers showed up in 1849 in San Francisco. Like, the guys that made money were the guys that sold the shovels. Like, they're like, yeah, there's gold.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't give a fuck if you get any gold, but here's some shovels.
Mm-hmm. Here's some shovels. Here's some sifting shit.
Okay, but here's the important.
Thank you for everybody that came back. My tablet is a Samsung, so it's going to work very well for 30 minutes exactly.
Yeah, we have some technological hurdles to cross. But okay, here's the most important thing we need to talk about this week.
What's that?
Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candles.
I'm sorry, what?
So Gwyneth Paltrow, she has this company called Goop, and they make.
Whoa. Vagina candles and Goop. What?
Okay, hang on. I'm getting there.
Sorry,
I'm getting there.
This is a bit much.
So she sells a lot of crazy pseudoscience bullshit nonsense. It's kind of shit like if you go to Whole Foods and you go into like the mystic aisle and they have like crystals and like healing oils or whatever the fuck. So she has a whole company that does that. Mm-hmm. And she created a candle that says it smells like my vagina, and she's selling it for $75, and the shit sold out. Yeah. Okay. I know it'll take a couple of seconds when you think about this. The candle is called "This Smells Like My Vagina."
It's literally called that?
Yes. Here it is. I'll pull up the website. This is, you can't buy it now because boom.
Yeah, it's sold out of.
Yeah. This smells like my vagina candle. Like that's a candle. This is the Goop website. And it is 10.5 ounces. That's a
lot of pussy.
This this item is sold out. Look at this. You can't even buy it online.
I'm not great at geometry or whatever conversion I'm gonna need, but I'm pretty sure 10.6 ounces is deeper than the human vagina.
Hey, it's a candle, but I'm just trying to figure out
Okay, here comes the arbitrary part where we make fun of what Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle smells like for the next 5 minutes, and I'm gonna lead off with saying gentrification and hope. Smells like Robert Downey Jr.'s beard.
Okay, that's an Iron Man reference.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But I mean, come on, man. Who is this for? Like who's buying this?
For very desperate incels. That's who the fuck has a Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candle in his mother's basement while he's playing Call of Duty eating Cheetos. That's exactly who I think has bought that shit.
I don't know,
and
man.
It's sold out on Amazon, and I'm sick that you brought this up.
I'm curious. I mean, if you buy this for your lady for a romantic evening, you're just gonna let me light some candles, baby.
Nah.
And she's gonna be like, who's here?
I bet you that candle smells like Oceanside, California.
I mean, okay, look.
Smells like the suburbs and barbecue. I don't know what else. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep naming things until one of them's funny.
Suburbs and barbecue. I get it. Okay, you
seawater and battery acid. That's
I know you gotta say shit like this to keep your name in the papers or whatever. This smells like my vagina or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I mean, come on, she's opening herself to a lawsuit.
Oh, herself. She's opening herself up to much more than a lawsuit, Kevin.
I'm just saying,
that's got to burn a little bit. You know what I mean?
I mean, come on. If somebody sues her and says, "Hey, look, I don't think this candle really smells like Gwyneth Paltrow."
Gwyneth Paltrow will show up at your house and drop trowel. She's like, motherfucker.
You could take it to court, and the judge will have to decide in arbitration if this candle really smells like a vagina.
Smells like perm activator and shrimp scampi.
A vagina has to be a character witness in a trial.
It does. It absolutely does.
I don't understand why you would set yourself up for something like that, man.
Smells like cotton and saline solution.
I mean, and if it sells so well, every time something sells well, there's always knockoffs, right? Mm-hmm. So this is gonna be
smells like salmon and garlic butter.
Okay, you can't afford this $75 vagina candle. Here's the
$75. It's $75. You can get actual vagina for cheaper than that. And our production team looked at me funny, I'm not like they don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, we're in Los Angeles, California. Go down Figueroa, figure it out.
I'm just saying. So if you can't afford the $75 vagina candle,
no, go get a real one for substantially less. It won't be Gwyneth Paltrow, but you can put a blonde wig on her.
CVS will have one for $5.
And it says it does not smell like my vagina.
And it's hey,
I'm glad I'm doing this on Twitch. I'm gonna just go back and clip this.
And you
this
gotta
be great.
And you gotta find a down market like D-list celebrity.
I'm
to
gonna
do
send
this.
the last 5 minutes to festivals for the rest of the year. It's like someone just yell out, "What does Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle smell like?" And I'll do 10 minutes on that shit.
I mean, so it's gonna be at CVS for $10. It's some like
Smells like construction paper and hot dog water.
exactly like Snooki's vagina or something. Like,
Oh, let's not get on that. That's which is exactly what every man says after taking her home from the Jersey Shore. That's what Snooki's vagina smells like, the Jersey Shore.
You like the East? You like the East River? You like the East River?
Smells like the Hudson River. That's what the fuck it smells like. And Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina smells like Santa Catalina. I can do this for days.
I mean, this
Smells like rotten vinaigrette.
Fresh kombucha. Look, here's the problem. Like, why would you open yourself up to this? Like, this is entirely juvenile. This is entirely juvenile, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh,
look,
God.
but that's my point. Like, you
That
can't.
was funny.
Okay, let's move on, please.
No, I'm enjoying myself.
I mean,
Smells like mushrooms and Greek yogurt.
I mean, who's the clientele for this? Japanese businessmen?
Yes.
I mean,
Have you ever? You know they sell like they have panties in vending machines in Japan.
They sell dirty
Right
panties
next
in
to
vending
the
machines.
$75 This smells like my vagina candle.
What are y'all doing, man? Like,
They're getting free advertising for us for the last 10 minutes because this shit is sold out on Amazon. It is a very popular product, ladies and gentlemen. You can't buy it. That is the best advertising. It's like there's a vagina candle and you can't buy it. I was like, why not? Why can't I? Man, I can get it.
this item is sold out. Add to the wait list to be notified when it's back on stock.
Wow.
I mean, I'm gonna add it to the wait list. Like, I will. I'm not gonna buy it. I just want to be on a wait list just to see
God.
like what.
I'm sending that to all my friends. Like when I make it, when I can afford that shit, I'm sending it to all my black friends that date white women.
I think that white girlfriends would be very offended.
That's the point.
How dare you?
If it doesn't smell like this, man, you can do better.
Oh no!
We get canceled for sure.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Oh god. I don't care if y'all enjoyed the show. We're having a fucking blast right now.
Okay. So anyway, the point is, look, I get it. Like, I know people have to say stuff like that to keep their names in the paper, say outrageous things. But I mean, at some point, somebody has to blow the whistle and just be like, all right, look.
Or blow out the candle. Just keeps writing itself.
Speaking of blowing out candles.
Oh, God. Smells like dirty underwear and clean money.
I mean, the thing is, she's like a multi-millionaire. Like,
yes.
She doesn't need to do any of this.
No.
I mean, I don't know if they get to a point where they just make so much money that they have so many yes people around them that nobody tells them that this shit is a bad idea.
Dude,
I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you get to that level where you just like, okay.
You ever watch that show Billions?
Yeah.
All right, like I used to watch it. I need to get back onto it. But there was a scene on there when like they were talking about fuck you money. And the main billionaire guy's like, what's the point of having fuck you money if you never say fuck you? Well, that is the definition of fuck you money. Where she's like, I don't need this. I don't need to put it out. I don't need the money for this. I just want to do it. So I'm making a candle that smells like my pussy. Fuck you. And sold out.
This is late stage capitalism. We're all gonna die soon.
Beyonce can't even do that, and she's damn near a billionaire. I mean, I bet you she probably could.
Oh.
That would sell out before. That would sell out pre-order.
Well, she shouldn't make a candle. She should make like some grits. These grits. If Beyonce made some grits that taste like a pussy, dude. That shit. That's a terrible idea.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I'm just saying. Like,
I was gonna say incense and keep it being racist, but that you shot for the fence.
so I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, my mother loved that joke. Oh my god.
Okay. So anyway,
grits that taste like Beyonce's pussy. Hot sauce and butter.
Well, but the problem is some people like sugar in their grits. So I mean, you're gonna have to you'd have to split it. Maybe Solange would do the sugar version. I don't know. Like I'm just spitballing here.
If you just tuned in, we did about 15 minutes on Gwyneth Paltrow having a candle that smells like her vagina, and Kevin came up with the genius idea that Beyonce should make grits that smells like hers. Because we're terrible people.
We're late stage capitalism, bro. Like everything sells at this point.
Okay, the next topic we had on here was gig based economy, eating hotels, but now I'm more interested in eating something else.
Yeah. We kind of lost track of the thing.
It was worth it though. I feel like it was very necessary.
Cedric Drake says I like sugar and milk in my grits.
Oh, okay. So the Iggy Azalea grits.
Like the Australian grits version.
Someone please send some water to Australia. They're still on fire.
Yeah. I mean, I tried to explain to people like how big that fire was. So I like superimposed like the state of West Virginia on California because it's like the state of West Virginia that size, and it covers like from say like Santa Barbara all the way up to like Salinas to like San Jose.
Dude, you know shit's bad when we're sending our firefighters from California to fucking Australia. Like, we need them. Like, we have fires all the time.
Yeah, like, our shit's on fire, but yo. Like, yo, like, you are on fire right now.
Yeah, there's a burning koala behind you. Like, hey, help.
Koalas
Jesus.
are like...
Like, I was watching, like, a report from, like, one of the Australian reporters that was, like, standing near the fire, and a fucking flaming koala ran past him and jumped on his back and was like, hey, nigga, come on, let's go. Like, this is not a game. Kangaroos just bouncing past and shit.
Dudes are just... I mean, it's fucked up, too, because that was on my bucket list. I always wanted to go to Australia. I always wanted to surf Australia, and now I'm like, that shit's going to be bad for years now. So, I mean, for my own selfish reasons, I'm very sad that happened.
My own selfish reasons, I'm like, I don't know, like I'm indifferent towards it because I've seen some of the scariest spiders in my life, like that come from Australia, and I'm like, yeah, maybe. Like they're like, oh, all these millions of species. I'm like, if they're all spiders, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, the things are like this big.
Yeah,
like
no, bigger than that.
Like just walking by like this.
Yeah,
like
stop! It's creepy. It's just big creepy figures. Get off me.
I mean, like that big. Like,
yeah, that's terrifying.
You know what I haven't heard from about this? Ben Simmons hasn't said shit about this, man.
He's like, I'm here.
I'm playing for Philly. I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, like the only water he's worried about is trying to get some kind of wet jump shot, and it's not happening.
Nah. That dude, he should just keep his mid range and just don't even bother.
I don't understand how you can get this far. How can you make it all the way to the NBA and be like damn near an all-star and not be able to shoot?
Hey,
like in this NBA, not like the 80s and shit where you can just back somebody down and get to the basket. Like, no, he literally can't shoot a jumper.
Yeah, well, you're 6'10" point guard. I mean, you're always a mismatch, so that's
LeBron's
one thing.
a 6'10" point guard. What's your point?
No, he's 6'8".
Okay, well, either way. Yeah. Like, Magic 6'9" and could shoot. Like, I'm still don't understand, like, why this dude can't shoot. His center can shoot. The center can shoot substantially better than him.
I have no idea what he's doing in the offseason. Like, Ben Simmons is like...
I know exactly what he's doing in the offseason. Kendall Jenner. Which is why they are never going to win a championship.
Again, we've talked about this numerous times on this podcast. A Kardashian is the equivalent of an Achilles injury.
Yes.
I mean, you should be put on injured reserve the moment you date a Kardashian.
As soon as it gets public that you're dating a Kardashian, you go on the non-injury exempt list.
Yeah.
It's just a wrap.
Yeah, it just like your shot gets terrible. You get an ACL. Your knees fall out. Your
knees fall off.
I mean, look at.
Has anyone ever seen?
Look at Blake Griffin, man.
Time out. Has anyone seen or heard from Chris Humphries?
Nah,
he literally just faded away.
Yeah. He played for Brooklyn, and then like I don't know, like
where'd he go?
I mean, like Thanos, like the dude just went. He's gone.
Reggie Bush. Thin air. Miles Austin. He was a great wide receiver. He was looking like he was going to be an All-Pro.
Yeah. Caught a hamstring. Never been the same since, man.
Haven't heard hide nor hair from him.
Man, I swear to God, if this was the 16th century, we would have burned them as witches. We would have, because
and they would have turned into witches. Like they wouldn't have been like, oh my God, we burned an innocent person. No, they would have. Their apparitions would have taken flight, and they would have found a new host.
Inhabited some child.
It's one of those situations like, oh, let's drown him. Oh shit, it really was a witch. I don't know what voodoo. I don't know what witch doctor they went and saw. They had their, menstrual blood cursed. But there's something going on in that witch's brew. I mean, that family is cursed. Every man that comes in contact either becomes cursed or becomes one of them. Bruce.
I'm telling you, like 100 years from now, they're gonna be telling stories about them, like as a legend of the destroyer of men.
100 years from now, they're still going to be alive, preying on athletes.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like 100 years from now, like Kim Kardashian's still around, like at the All-Star game.
She won't be known as Kim Kardashian by then, but it's just like I don't know how vampires get to stay alive for 300 years, but it make it work.
Right. It's like Wonder Woman, right? Where she's hanging out in the 80s and someone picks up her picture. It's like, isn't this you in World War One? Like,
I just gave myself a chore. When I get home, get a picture of the Kardashians as a family and just write True Blood over the top.
that is awesome.
Castlevania.
Okay, so where was I going with this?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Ben Simmons can't shoot Australia. We got all the way down there from started on something really serious and got all the way down to the Kardashians.
Yeah, that happened. But I mean, okay, the thing I was going to bring up that was serious was the whole gig economy thing. Mm-hmm. And what was happening is like in hotels now, like they're saying like a lot of people that work in hotels and like the concierges and the kitchens and stuff, they're getting less and less work now because everybody's using Postmates and shit like that.
So no one's doing
the room service. Yeah, it's a room service.
I never thought about that.
Right. And so like a lot of cats are saying like their union jobs working for the hotels, whatever, that's getting kind of cut out because of all this shit. And I mean, I know you used to drive for Uber and stuff like that. So
Uber Eats and Grubhub, and basically, if there was a way I can use my car and my phone to make money out here, I tried to find a way to do it.
Right, but you didn't get like health insurance or like
no.
You were not an employee, right?
No, I got parking tickets too.
Okay, and you have to pay for that.
Yes.
Okay, and here's the thing: like Grubhub and Uber and all those guys, they tried to put this legislation in California that said they were exempt from having to treat their workers as employees. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to make everybody independent contractors, regardless of how much hours you work.
Of course they are.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. But like, if you own a major corporation and there's about to be a legislation that comes through that you could lobby and get and avoid, or you could just let pass, and then your profits drop by like, I don't know what percentage it would be, but it would be millions of dollars if they had to pay all that shit out. So by the definition of a corporation, they are going to always find the most profit maximizing way to fuck you over because that's their job. Not so much to fuck you over, but to find profit maximization. So, yeah, it's fuck you, pay me.
That's crazy to me, man, because, I mean, it's fucking up, like all the hotels. Like, San Francisco is one of the first places where it's really, like, breaking down. Mm-hmm. And those guys, are like, the union guys are like, yo, we're not making any money anymore. We're not even getting, like, tips or nothing now. And so the unions are trying to fight them to, like, force, some sort of, at least, concession from Grubhub and those guys. And, of course, the Grubhub guys, they have, like, buku lawyers and all that.
Of course.
So I mean, but what they're saying, this is just like the first salvo into like the creeping of this like gig industry into everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna come to a point where like like restaurants are not gonna have employees anymore. It's just gonna be
Well, this is the same beef that the taxi drivers had with Uber and Lyft, the first time. And how did that pan out for them? I honestly don't know because like they still exist, but like it's obviously not great.
Yeah. I mean, the taxis are on the downswing right now. Like they're in a losing battle right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only concession they got was from LAX to like have a separate line and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know a single advantage to having a taxi versus a Lyft right now. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's cost-wise, it's kind of similar because I remember taking a taxi home from LAX when that Lyft driver canceled on me twice, and it was about, the difference was about like $5 or $6. It was more expensive for a taxi, but it wasn't that much more expensive.
Yeah, but like if you're taking a short ride though, like a taxi still has a minimum like $20 or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, they have minimums. Yeah, it's a kind of an antiquated model, but at the same time though, like. Number one, like the Uber drivers are not making money, and number two, like Uber as a company is not making money. So
I feel like they still are.
They're not.
They're not making as much as they used to.
No, I mean they're in a deficit. They're not not a profitable company.
Really?
Yeah, they're not.
What about Lyft?
I don't know what Lyft's situation is, but Uber definitely is not. I mean, a lot of this money comes from venture capital, so like they kind of had this model of like build out fast, so they didn't mind spending billions of dollars and like losing it all. So
and they did. I guess they did. But like, what could they? What's costing them? Is my question. Like, because all it is an app. Like, what could it? What possibly aside from like legal fees? What could be like running them up? Like having a server. Like their overhead's got to be pretty low, right? They don't really even pay for vehicles.
Well, it's a tech company. I mean, that tech costs, and the legal shit is really expensive because they've been sued in literally every city that they've run in.
I got a settlement from Uber and I'm happy.
Oh, you got a settlement?
Yeah.
Oh shit, drinks on you, dog.
No, that saved my life last year. I needed that.
Oh, okay.
The reason I got that settlement was because I was starving because I used to drive for Uber for so long and I was trying to get back on my feet.
Man,
because there was so much shit that they like now that they have these laws that like kind of indemnifies them from all the shit that they had to back pay everybody else for. But there was a lot of like, if you think about it, like,
so they sold it up now, so you can't get that money
exactly.
now.
But it was like they had to pay for like my wear and tear on my vehicle, like gas, various other things that they would need to pay for before they were like they got it like locked down. You're an independent contractor now, but it was still hazy, so they had to pay for that.
Okay, but now it's ironclad and it's like you're on your own.
Exactly, and it's everybody like that. Like Uber, I guess would be the main one that's like in everyone's Evoke set when you think of like a gig-based job. But yeah, so Uber kind of set the standard. Like once they got their shit together, then Grubhub, and then Uber Eats, obviously, and then Lyft, and then every other thing you can use your phone to make money on was like, okay, we're gonna make sure you only get paid for this, and we don't have to pay you for that.
And you're not legally liable for anything that happens while you're on the job.
Nope.
Which is insane.
That's also something that'll probably cost them a lot of money.
But that's absolutely insane.
And shit.
The reason that exists is because any kind of job you do, especially a physical job, there's always like risks of things happening, and that's why you have unions, and that's why you have liability.
Yeah, we need that as comedians.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get that. I mean,
no, we don't get anything close to that.
Yeah, I mean, like driving to a gig, you could get in an accident, or you run out of drink tickets.
Oh, and here's something else Uber probably has to spend a whole lot of money on: fucking rape cases. Did you see that thing where it was like well over like 6,000 sexual assaults that were filed against like Lyft, Uber drivers and shit?
Damn.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't even know what time frame that was. I was like, I remember there was a couple comics that had like a joke where the punchline was like, oh, so many rapists, you thought it was an Uber driver or something like that. And I was like, God damn, that's seriously a thing? But if you think about it, like, what's one of the main purposes of Uber or Lyft is like to take somebody drunk home, right? So there's a lot of Uber and Lyft drivers that are just dirty motherfuckers that are like, somebody's friend drops their drunk friend in the car and then they take advantage of them.
But I mean, how do you find time though? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, they're driving all night. It's literally thrown in their lap. I'm not saying like I'm not justifying it at all. I'm just saying that's how it happens. It's fucking terrible.
But I mean, like,
and you would think,
but hang on. I mean, Uber keeps track of how long it takes you to drop somebody off, right?
Yeah, but like they did, like the system's not ironclad, and they got millions of drivers all the time, and that's part of the lawsuit. It's like you should do a better job of both doing background checks on people and checking what's happening at the time. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it so that there's like a camera in the car at all times now.
Okay, so that's why they have those ads now where they're like, okay, Uber is checking your security all the time.
Yes.
Because they're trying to like deflect from some obviously heinous shit that's been happening.
Obviously.
But I mean, I don't know how...
You just gotta be a dirty motherfucker to do some shit like that.
I mean, I don't know how long... I mean, but you're in a car. Like, how do you find time to like... Okay, I'm gonna drive you here. I'm gonna sexually assault you, and then drop you off, and then go get another ride. Like, I mean, just like
it's LA, man. Traffic. I don't know. I'm not trying to justify that shit at all. I'm just saying that people have fucked in cars before, legally and like when under consent. So it's possible.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like I'm too tall. I've never fucked in a car. I just it's not physically possible for me. So I just can't even. I can't imagine it. Like it feels like I'm uncomfortable sitting in a car. Like
Kevin, you just explained your tall man bias to the whole world. You just mansplained how it's not possible for you to possibly do that.
I'm just. I can't imagine it. I'm just like, oh God. All right.
Okay,
You know what? You know what? Just go home. It's all good.
Can we make some more jokes about Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy candle? Because I just made myself sad thinking about all these rapist Uber drivers out there.
Hey, it's the way of the world, man.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we're running out of time. I just want to say, yeah. I mean, 2020 things are going to be better.
I hope. It's been rough already. It's been 2 weeks, and it's like fuck.
Yeah. And but also, I believe things are going to be better, but also be prepared to die.
Yeah. You are now officially an American, Kevin. Always be prepared to die.
Yeah, be prepared to die. Like
expect the best, but be prepared. Be prepared to die.
Yeah, be prepared.
Good things can happen, but be prepared to die.
Yeah, and then in that case,
it shouldn't be God bless America. It's like, hey, great things happen, but be prepared to die.
Yeah, stock up on some White Claw in your fridge. Like
drink up because you can die tomorrow.
Yeah,
you can die tonight. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, not tonight. I'm trying to do a setup.
Especially if you're smelling Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy cat. I tried to make it work.
Oh, no.
I tried.
That was a wonderful segment. I really appreciate your.
Cedric said Carrie's Humphreys is good. I hope that doesn't mean he's become a Carrie now, and she's okay, because that would explain Caitlyn.
That's a typo.
I'm not with that family. You can't put it past him, Kevin.
No, he meant to say Chris Humphreys.
I don't know.
All right, well, whatever. But anyway, Lucky 49er shirt on.
It's somewhere underneath all that.
No, look. See? You can see, look.
No, they can't, Kevin.
No, look at that R.
I'm looking at the camera, and all I see is the R.
You see the R?
No. See? Paul doesn't see it.
No, look.
Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next. Actually, we probably won't be back next week. I've got some things going on, but we'll be back the week after that. Same black time, same black station. Thank you for tuning in. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell off of my Wi-Fi. Peace out. Later.
All right. See you later.